Agency warned today that this is a real possibility. And here to talk to NTD's Don Ma about the situation in Europe is European economist Daniel Lacalle. He's the chief economist at the Chesses Hedge Fund.
So Daniel, thanks for coming on. Let's just get right into this issue. What kind of danger is Europe in if Russia cuts off its supply of gas completely?
Well, if Russia cuts its supply of gas completely, Europe is in really, really big trouble. Because think about this. There is absolutely no source of energy that can offset the volume of gas that comes from Russia. Europe imports about 150 BCM of natural gas from Russia. It can reduce the dependence on Russian gas by importing US LNG or some gas from Norway and other sources, but still there is no other alternative. Even if they reopen some of the coal plants, and some of the nuclear plants, it is not enough. And the combination of renewables, wind and solar, is definitely not a solution because, as you know, they're intermittent and volatile. And obviously, they work with a load that is around 22 to 40%. Therefore, they cannot offset the volumes coming from Russia.
Now, Russia knows how much Europe depends on it. So how likely will Russia actually do this?
I think it's not that easy. On the one hand, it is true that the European Union has a tremendous dependence on Russian gas. But on the other hand, we have to ask ourselves the question, what can Russia do with that gas? Because it's not easy to sell it elsewhere. It's not easy to send it anywhere else. And the transportation system, as well as the storage system of Russia, are quite full already. So for Russia, it's also a double-edged sword. It cannot simply just turn off the taps, and it would be a massive loss of dollar and euro revenues that are much needed in this environment. So it's a tremendously difficult situation because, on the other hand, what people tend to forget is that Ukraine receives a monthly payment from Russia as well to use the transport system as the fee that it pays for the transportation system to go through the Ukraine border.
Can Russia sell to China?
Russia can sell to China, but not the gas that goes to Europe. It certainly is doing it, and obviously with oil, it's not a problem because oil is easily transportable and oil is easily storable, but gas is not the same. You need a very wide and expensive network of gas pipelines that don't exist right now. So you cannot simply take gas from the west side of the border of Russia to the east side quickly, and certainly not in enough quantities so that China can offset the revenues that Russia receives from the European Union.
Now, what is the gas shortage doing to European, industries?
Well, European industries are certainly suffering so far because it's relatively mild. We're still not in winter, and the demand for gas is limited. We have not seen massive shortages for industries. But if you think about the number of industries that would have to shut down entirely its activities because of a gas stop, because if Russia decided to stop sending gas to Europe, that would certainly cause a massive recession in the European Union because there are many industries, even in sectors that we don't think about, no? Not just the automotive sector, but there are numerous sectors that require the use of gas that are very energy intensive and that would collapse immediately if there would be a complete stop of the supply of natural gas from Russia.
Between the economy, the people, industries, who would feel the pain the most?
Certainly the people. Prices are already very high. Many households are being unable to accommodate the spending required, for example, for air conditioning in the middle of a heat wave. So imagine what would be when it gets cold in winter and the price of natural gas, essential for heating, rockets to a new all-time high. People would certainly feel the impact more severely. Industries, certainly afterwards, but the majority of the pain would come from the impact on households.
How did the European Union get into this situation?
Well, it's a very complicated situation because the so-called dependence on Russian gas was not something that was a mistake or something that was lack of planning. It was actually planned. It was perceived that having more interaction and commercial ties with Russia would improve the relationships with the Russian regime. At the same time, it's a very reliable and cheap source of energy that allowed, for example, Germany to eliminate nuclear plants from its energy mix. So the decision to strengthen and increase the ties with Russia was something that the European Union decided politically, because at that time it seemed like a good idea to enter into stronger commercial ties with Russia in order to improve as well the diplomatic situation between the different nations involved.
Right, right. I guess nobody foresaw the war, right?
Exactly. I think that all of that in paper, if you think about it, everybody would understand that it's even a good decision to think that by strengthening commercial ties with an autocratic regime, that regime will slowly but surely improve in terms of governance and in terms of democratic approach and openness and trade capabilities, but obviously it's not always the way that one plans, and time obviously puts everything in a different perspective.
Thank you for watching this video. Please subscribe to my channel, like my videos, leave your comments below, and keep defending freedom. Thank you very much.